What's in government cuts?
I think the government cuts are terrible when bankers are taking billions of pounds worth of bonuses and we're getting cuts in the NHS and right across the services.
The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The cuts won't hurt wealthy people anything like as they will the majority of people on the street, and I think it's grossly unfair.
Any more? Keep going. Keep going. Cheers, mate.
You're very welcome.
I'm not very happy about the NHS cuts at the moment because they're already short-staffed as friends. I've got friends who are working as NHS as midwives and nurses, and they're already struggling as they are in the conditions they've got. So to have cuts on that would be awful anyway. Yeah.
Thank you. Excuse me, sir. What do you think about the government cuts?
To be honest, I don't get too far involved in it, so I'm not too bothered by it, to be honest. Yeah, that's it really. Nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. Are you sure about government cuts? Do you want to write to the politician in Bristol?
It doesn't bother me, to be honest. Again,
It doesn't bother you.
It doesn't affect my work.
You want to say anything else?
No.
Okay. What do you think about government cuts?
Well, given that they've spent so much money bailing out these bankers, it looks like they don't have much money in the pot. So therefore, realistically, they probably do have to make the cuts. But if they hadn't been foolish enough to bail out rich bankers in the first place, maybe they wouldn't be in this situation.
What do you think of a cut?
Well, it's not a very good thing because we need a lot of money put into society, and taking it out is quite detrimental and could be very damaging. Yeah. I think maybe it's best if they put money into very important things such as health and schools and into education.
What do you think about the government cuts?
Okay, I'm not agree with because I think people need sometimes help from the government, and we work for that.
I think it's a terrible thing, especially for the arts industry, because I set up an arts organisation myself, and we're victims of the cuts, and I don't think we'll be able to carry on for much longer.
Thank you.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm from Germany, so I really can't tell you much about it, but actually I'm against them. Okay? Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay.
What do you think about the government cuts?
Well, I'm really concerned that there's not going to be support for the people that need it most in the community.
What do you think about the cuts?
The cuts, oh I see, the cuts. Well, they're a necessary evil, aren't they? But it's debatable as to whether or not they're the right cuts. And I think only time will tell whether or not they're the right cuts. I mean, fair enough, nobody wants their particular area cut. But I just think, let's just wait and see whether or not this plan works or not. It's difficult to try and speculate what might be a better alternative. That's what I think.
Thank you. Thank you for your advice.
What do you think about the government cuts? I think it's necessary, but it's a bit harsh on most people. But it's necessary to bring it down, the debt and everything. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I don't really know much about them. You should probably cut other stuff rather than the education.
Can you tell me what do you think about the government cuts?
Certainly. I think they're very poor. I think they're going to hurt all the poorer members of society and people with disabilities, old people, children, education. I don't think they're a good thing at all. I think they're hitting the wrong people. Okay?
Thank you.
I think it's disgusting the way they've cut the benefits, the childcare, the schooling, education, things like that. That's what I think.
I don't agree with it. Personally, I think that people should. I think that they shouldn't make any cuts at all, and I don't know why they're cutting it. I don't agree with it at all.
What do you think about the government cuts?
I'm quite worried about the educational cut because once the educational cost is cut, then some people with don't have a good financial background from the family cannot go to university. So that's an important issue for me.
Well, we're talking about the government cuts at Bristol. We want to ask what you think about it. So, over to you.
Well, you can talk. The Bristol resident.
I think so far at the moment we're yet to see a lot of the major impacts. I know the budget was only a couple of days ago, but I think it failed to highlight that a lot of them aren't actually going to start to kick in until the next couple of months, even from the emergency budget. And it would be, I think it's obviously public spending needs to be reduced, but I think it's being cut probably too harshly, and the cuts are in the wrong places. Personally, that's how I feel.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Yeah, that's what he said, really. Yeah. It's all right. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the government cuts.